7, Sam Pickering. 8, and captain Amir Mandalawi. 10, Liam Shearer. 11, Ray Whitecliffe. 12, Oliver Pickering. 14, Joshua Apapa Preston. And 19, Jack O'Connor. On the bench for Petone, 22, Lucas Siegel. Number 2, Jeremy George. 13, Luke Stoop. 15, Seth Lochran. And 20, Michael Petone. Petone is coached by Sam Morrissey and Jamie O'Connor. Goalkeeping coach Chris Pinnock. Manager today is Andy Fadrick and assisted by Barry Pickering. Assistant manager Jaden Robson and physio TBI Health. Enjoy the game, everybody. Come on, you Blues.
It says it's going live at 2:55, but it's not showing yet. So it's set fire.
Marky. Oh.
Russell.
I know, we know.
Excuse.
We're very early in our relationship, so I won't get it wrong.
We're not.
Hi,
I've
darling.
seen half your boobs.
Only half.
Well, yeah, the top half.
Sounds a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than the left half.
Yes.
We could arrange for it.
Yep, you're live.
Good afternoon and Kalimera, and welcome to Petone Memorial Park, the home of football in the Hutt Valley. Today's clash is between Des White Realty Petone and Wellington Olympic in a second round Chatham Cup clash. I'm Paul Ollie Olstorn, and with me in the commentary box today is Petone Centurion and Karori Golf Champion, the smooth talking Russell Turner. Welcome, mate. What do you expect to see of today's match?
Thanks very much, Ol. Great intro. Appreciate it. Glad that the complaints from a couple of weeks ago have been put to bed, and I can talk to you here again today. Look, expecting potentially a similar game to the Napier game, where Petone are probably going to have to live without possession for long periods, stay in the fight, compete physically, and hit them on the break. And as long as they can do that, then they're with every chance today on the Champagne turf at Memorial Park.
Yeah, historically this game has always provided goals, and we'll talk about that as we go through the match. Wellington Olympic have a slightly change of team personnel today, have a bit of an injury crisis out there at Wakefield Park. So they've got 4 guys starting in the team, which were part of the Hilton Petone winning side earlier this season. Petone have lost Jago Scott Greenfield to overseas duties, so they've got a new left back in Joshua Papa Preston, whose first touch of the ball was a clearing header. The player just mentioned runs the ball out for a corner against Gavin Hoy. A funny story, I was talking to the Olympic coach as they arrived today, and Gavin Hoy was under an injury doubt because he injured his leg driving to the game. So he passed the fitness test in the warm-up and he's out there today. So we'll see how long that injury lasts.
I don't even find that remotely funny, Ol, because we've all done something similar.
Olympic applying the early pressure. So play back to Captain Mata at halfway, and he'll settle it down as he plays across to Alex Solomons. Playing deeper today, Solomons, normally one of the pivots, playing in the centre-back role. Knocks it into the corner. Strong norwesterly wind today, blowing from left to right, so they'll take a while to adapt to the conditions.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite as windy as it was Napier a couple of weeks ago, but it's the same deal, isn't it? Those long through balls, straight through balls, they're just not going to work. They're just going to run away from you on the turf. So you've got to take a bit off it, or you've got to play more diagonal, I think.
Yeah, Olympic are a footballing side, so I don't think you'll see too much of the long ball from them. Maybe switching from left to right if opportunity arises, but generally they'll play through the lines. And Papa Preston's really got his work cut out already with Gavin Hoy. Gavin Hoy, a seasoned player here at Wellington Olympic, with a lot of success. Ball goes in top of the Petone goal. Paranahi Nuhu clears out to Whitecliffe, who can't regather it. And the ball goes out harmlessly for a Grant Fox kick right into the corner flag, which will be a difficult place for Petone to get out of. Drayton with the throw, sun in his eyes, goes long down the line. Again, Olympic comes square across the park. And that's Mandalawi getting in and making a good contest of that at the top of the box. Suprick coming forward now. Scored 4 goals so far this season, Adam Suprick, which has been a turn-up for Olympic. Previously in his 150 games, he'd only scored 1. But he's a bit of a goal-scoring vein at the moment at left back.
It's amazing how if you get 1, you get 2, and then you get 4.
Pickering clears the header away. Ollie Pickering plays it back calmly to Paranahi Nuku. Tries to play out through the lines, and Mandalawi in a good fight in the middle of the field there with Vincent. Plays it wide to O'Connor. Connor's got options forward, but plays it back. Papa Preston can't quite find the run of Pickering, and Hoy clears. Solomons, the American, plays it calmly back to Oscar Boyce. Oscar Boyce in goal today for Wellington Olympic, making his debut. Of course, he was Petone's first choice keeper all of last season and at their successful under-19 tournament. We wish him well, but not too well. This is the 98th meeting between Petone and Wellington Olympic and their predecessors CYFC. Been a fantastic contest every time we've played them. And there's always goals. Looking at the stats sheet, they average about 4 goals a game in these games, so I doubt whether it will be a 0-0 draw. And there's the first free kick of the game, given away by Autry on Mandalawi. McMinn strides forward to O'Connor. O'Connor, another one with a Greek connection, not just himself personally, but his father. His father actually played 24 Chatham Cup games with 10 goals, so not a bad strike rate for a midfielder. Now, obviously, coach of Petone. And they play the safety ball back to Stapleton in the Petone goal. He's looking for support wide. It was Prinz that closed Stapleton down well. He's put a bit of pressure on the Petone defence to try clear that ball. Suprick looking over the top for Prinz, but that ball will roll harmlessly out at the far end. No, Papa Preston's kept it in. I know who he is. Yeah. Oh, wow. Autry plays it over to the far post, out to the side of Prinz. Prinz, he's had a sensational season so far at Wellington Olympic. His 3rd season now as the second ball comes on the pitch from the Amani's game. Big clash on number 4 today too for the Petone club as the Petone Armanese take on Waterside Karori Dreamers. Top table clash there in Masters 1. Pickering slowly bringing the ball out, looking to play that ball into the centre role. It's come to Drayton, who can't quite get it under, but he gets a second chance here. Some nice triangle play in there by Petone.
Quite noticeable all out there. Just my first look at Olympic for quite some time. They're a big physical side, and key for Petone is going to be to challenge them physically, win their personal battles as much as they can, but stay in the game for as long as they can, because apart from Olympic being a good footballing side, they're physically very imposing.
Well, if you look down their spine, they've got Ben Marder at centre back, they've got Tor Davenport Pedersen at centre midfield, and they've got Hamish Watson up front. So the whole Olympic spine is strong, and around them they've got a lot of fluidity. They change roles all the time. As Mandalawi pushes the ball forward to Wycliffe, his first chance to show what he can do on a one-on-one. He attacks Suprik. He's taken him on the outside with his right foot. He's got across to the far post. It's come back from Shearer. Shearer plays it back across. Drayton can't quite get on the edge of the box for a chance, but it was a good run from Wycliffe. Came across Wycliffe training on his own at Richard Prowse Park during the week. He was practicing going out wide. People were starting to say he's a bit predictable coming inside all the time. But McMinn makes a great run from deep, and Pickering Sam has found him. McMinn would like to have that opportunity again here. It's a bit lackadaisical with his attempted cross.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing finish, but a good movement by McMinn, and found well by Pickering, and I think it's the blueprint for Petone. They've got to get the ball into those wide areas, get him behind them, turn around the big men, and get them into that dangerous areas.
Because Olympic
like
like to push their wing backs high, so Suprik and Vincent will leave a bit of a space behind them, and if Petone can exploit that, they could create opportunity.
I don't think they're going to get much change going through the middle. So,
oh, that's a nasty foul for Mandalawi. And the ref will be doing well to keep his yellow card in the pocket there, thinking it's just an early challenge. And that's how he sees it, which is relief for Mandalawi. It's certainly slightly reckless. Free kick goes harmlessly long with that wind assisting it out at the far end, the merged communications end of the Petone Memorial Park. Pickering plays into the pivot role. Get the half turn. Shearer gets the half turn roll, and Petone plate the free kick quickly. And it's out to Drayton. There's another late challenge that the ref may come back for, although waves play on at this stage. And Mandalawi settles it down. Shearer came on against Napier, made a huge difference in the last quarter of that match where Petone stole a late equaliser to draw 3-3. Looking to make an impression here today. As Solomon plays out to Vincent. And there, as we're talking, Vincent pushes instantly high from that wing-back roll. But that ball will go harmlessly down to Shea Stapleton. Olympic have played Petone before in the Chatham Cup. Back in 1984, they had an epic 4-4 draw. And it's a huge wind-affected game.
dreadful conditions that day.
Dreadful conditions, rain and wind. The now long
Goal
gone.
scorers that day, do you remember?
Goal scorers, Elkis Ounu got 2 for Wellington Olympic, and I think Harry Kostapis got 2 for Olympic. Andy Badrick, life member of Petone, scored 2 for Petone.
Remarkable achievement, that. Remarkable. And Paul Ollie Olson got a couple, I believe.
There's another lifetime ago. Went out on penalties that day, late Les Pickering. The penalty take actually missed one. Rest in peace, Les, but great club man and one of the great Pickering generations of this proud football club.
Absolutely.
Marta bombs that ball forward, but Stapleton, no problems there. Of course, Olympic are the reigning Chatham Cup holders, having won last year's final on penalties themselves after a 1-1 draw. So they'll be looking to go a repeat if they can, as Wycliffe now on the far side. Again, 1-on-1 with Suprik. Comes inside this time, but with the assistance of Prinz, he's shut down. And Prinz strong on the ball, comes with it well. And out to Vincent. He's been forward a lot lately. The car hampered injury, Hoy plays it wide to Suprik. And he's now got time to pick out a cross if he wants to. But Sam Pickering, blocks the attempt.
Did very well there, Sam. Talking about recent Chatham Cup winners, 1949, last time Petone got up.
Yeah, although they are 3 times winners, so they do have one more victory on them than Olympic as far as winners. Olympic, of course, winning in 2009 as well. Petone now out with a Papa Preston, plays it into the pivot. Shearer on the turn, gets it away to Ollie Pickering. Into McMinn, who's playing the false 9 centre forward position today. And it's Solomons that plays it all the way back to Boyce in the Olympic goal at the Bob Scott rest home end. Sam Pickering having a word with the linesman. Hoy was offside there, making Mandalawi play it. You could say possibly affecting the play. Mandalawi could have left it and they could have had the free kick.
Yeah, I think it's a fair call, actually. You just hand the ball back to Olympic when potentially
Tony could have had controlled possession.
Yeah.
Prinz will be doing well to keep that in. And unlike Galume Mai for Auckland FC last week, he was unable to keep that in and keep it in. A lot of controversy about goal line technology, ball out of play from that A-League semi-final from last week.
Yeah, I'm not sure Steve Corrigan's going to get over that one all that quickly.
No, it didn't sound like it.
Still fantastic season for them in their
Towards Davenport, and here comes the first yellow card, and it is Mandalawi. It is his second offence from the lunge tackle in the 5th minute, and now a kind of a semi-hack at Davenport Pedersen there, and he's conceded the free kick in quite a dangerous position with the tailing wind for Olympic. They could possibly have a strike here. It's the kind of range I could see Hamish Watson, and he is on the ball, maybe thinking I'm going to have a dig here.
Yeah, Mandalawi's going to need to be careful. He's in the engine room there. He's going to be scrapping all day. He just needs to be careful now on a yellow card. It's a long time to go sitting on a yellow card.
Watson, the burly, brawny Watson, lining it up with his right foot. He'll be looking to hit this on goal. The wall will be frightened, I would imagine. Watson approaches the ball. It's low, but straight into the arms of Stapleton, who gathers it very well. Watson won't be happy with that strike. It was on target, though. First shot on target.
It was. Didn't come out of the middle, though, did it?
No, didn't hit that with the driver, Russell.
No, he didn't.
Pickering, Sam gives Watson a nudge to just let him know that he's around as well. I think it's a fair free kick, but Watson went down a little bit easily there for such a burly character. The referee's on the watch. Just wants the 10 yards, and Watson walking away from this one.
He's not happy, is he? He's telling the referee all about it. It didn't look like it was a foul, but nothing more than that.
No. Now it's Solomon's over the ball. Is he looking to strike, or is he going to look to play the far post for the height of Mata, Watson, Davenport, Pedersen?
I'm going with that option, mate.
Solomons. No, he's hit it smack into the wall, which is Papa Preston's done a great job charging that down. And then they fire it in again. It's a good tussle out there. There'll be no holds barred in this match. It's a knockout match, so the winners carry on and the losers will be resting in a couple of weeks' time when the 3rd round's played. No sign of Hoy's leg giving him any hassle there, Russell, with the long ball.
No, looks like he's shaken off that driving injury that he picked up on the way here. So
changing gear can be quite strenuous, especially with the lights through the Wellington. Anyway, here's Hoy on the ball now.
Good news for him.
Papa Preston likes it on his left foot, but gives it away to Sam Pickering, who clears through McMinn. McMinn gets a push in the back from Solomons. The ref plays advantage. Drayton now driving forward. He's looking for Whitecliffe, who had come central, and now it's been found out wide. Shearer in support. And there's a nice little 1-2 there from Pickering and Drayton. Doesn't quite come off, and Hoy plays through to... Oh, and there's a serious foul from Pickering. The ref's playing advantage.
He may go
If I
back.
was an Olympic player, I would be saying there was no advantage there, but the ref's made his decision and we play on.
He didn't go back in and have a word, but he may have a quiet word on the way past, or he may just bank that for later on.
Like you said earlier, Russell, Olympic are a physical side, and Petone are matching them in those stages at the moment. Although they have given away a yellow card, like you said, Mandela will have to be careful. O'Connor tries to cut out Mata, which opens up Vincent in that wing back position, which he loves, and he's done the pup at Preston and has a lot of space and time now to deliver something that could cause trouble. But Pickering Sam again does a great cover. Far post it goes. Watson arrives, but Drayton does well to clear it out, and that is a shank, you would probably call. Right, and here comes the referee. He's coming back to an earlier incident, and I think this is going to be Sam Pickering getting a booking for the foul on Watson earlier on. And I think I'm correct.
Not for the last time today, I'm sure, but yeah, Pickering's everywhere at the moment, isn't he? That was a great block there. He got himself back. He read the play really well and stopped the cross coming into the danger area. But yep, another one who's just going to have to watch himself. Petone can ill afford to be playing with anything less than 11 players.
Absolutely. Hoy on the corner with the in-swinging wind. Whips it with his right foot to the centre of the goal. And there's Watson, completely unmarked, with a free hit in the 6-yard box. He gives the commentator the wave. 1-0 Wellington Olympic.
Hamish Watson.
Yeah. Well,
For Olympic, Hamish Watson.
feels a little bit like deja vu all over again. A couple of weeks ago with Napier, with the wind, in-swinging corner, led to the first goal. It was an own goal on that occasion, but beautiful delivery into right into the middle of the 6-yard box. And I mean, Hamish Watson couldn't miss from there. And yeah,
Bit disappointed in the marking. Like it was a really free header. There was no one even on him. Or the guy with such a scoring pedigree, you would think you'd put one of your big guys on him. Paranahi Nuku, McMinn, someone physicality to compete with him in that area. But it's done now. It's 1-0 Wellington Olympic.
I think in those situations you find a striker running and he's got all the momentum and he's always going to climb all over you, but you've got to at least block the run, make it hard for him. You're right, there was nobody on him. Just wonder if there was defenders on the post, whether they've been able to come off. I know it's not popular,
Yeah.
old school, but it works.
There was a defender on the far post, but the header itself went so central, I don't think it would have made an effect. But Petone got to get back into it, lift their heads up. And now Bray Whitecliffe with a little petulant foul there. Of course, last year, Olympic, in a very red-blooded game, went down to 9 men here at Petone Memorial Park. As Watson chases the long ball, Stapleton just about times his header correctly to create the safety. And who's that man blocking the danger again? Sam Pickering.
Yeah, I think it's really important for Petone here not to panic. There's still lots of time on the clock. They need to stay in the fight, keep their shape, keep their discipline, stick to their game plan.
Yeah, they've got, as the ball switch play that we were talking about. Oh, Stapleton's made a fumble and Prinzes have got a chance here and he slots it. Oh, Petone will be relieved to see the heavy blowing flag of the assistant referee on the near side. Shea Stapleton will be thankful for that.
Yep. Yeah, Petone dodged a bullet there.
Back to your point about time, Russell, you're 100% correct. And Petone have been known to score late goals. Yep. They have got goals in them. Kieran McMinn scored 9 goals already this season, and Bray Whitecliffe's got 4. So they have got players that can score goals. They just have to back themselves.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I mean, the worst thing they can do is lose their shape and allow Olympic to come through and to double their lead or extend it further at this stage. They just need to stay solid, stay patient. By the same token, they've got to play some football and they've got to put pressure on Olympic because they can't just park the bus. That would be suicidal against a quality side like Olympic.
In their round 2 clash in the Central League, Olympic jumped out to a 3-0 lead with goals from Watson, Suprick and Prinz. And Petone looked done. That was at half-time. They put a great second-half performance and pulled it back to 3-2. And in the end, Olympic hung on that day for the 3-2 win. So Petone know historically that they can match Olympic and they can play the full 90. They just got to have the ambition to want to do it. As Watson goes down awkwardly on his hand, it looks like. Still on the ground, Watson.
He's a very animated player, Hamish, isn't he? Very animated. He lets you know what's going on and how he feels about it.
Yeah.
Always a constant threat to any defence.
He's a guy you'd love to have in your team. He's the guy you hate when he's in the opposition.
He's 100%er, there's no doubt about that.
Hami just runs that ball out and gets a late challenge there from Tor Pedersen, I think, went in late on Paranahi Nuku. Of course, back in that epic Chatham Cup game in '84, which went to 4-all, ex-Olympic player was the Petone captain that day, Paul Ridley. Bubbles, if you're watching or listening, Bubbles, I hope you're well out there in the environment.
Still in Oz, I believe. Yeah. Great character, one of the great characters.
Yeah, great captain.
Super.
Yeah, super cool guy.
Inspirational team talks he used to give.
Him and Adi Bogovsky. Great mates.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind seems to have died down a little bit here at Petone Memorial Park. The flags are blowing only 85 kilometres an hour now as opposed to 97. Crowd slowly building up. Just under 1,000 here so far already today. As Whitecliffe does a good dummy on Suprick and gets past him. Shearer's gone into the corner looking for the ball, but Whitecliffe's held on to it. He's jinxed, but he's jinxed himself, and ball's gone out for a harmless clearing throw-in for Wellington Olympic.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a fantastic day for football, apart from the breeze, but 17, 18 degrees, just beautiful. Love it. Are we still in autumn, do you think?
They keep telling me the seasons have changed months, Russell, so I'm not sure what season we're in anymore. I know it's the football season. How about that? Petone trying to build some pressure on the Olympic goal here, maintaining possession for 7 to 8, 9 passes if they can. They like playing that piercing ball centrally, though. All it takes is Alex Solomons to switch off in a new position for him in the centre of defence, and Petone might get some dividends in there. Mandalawi wins the throw for Petone on the far side.
They certainly do a great job, Olympic, of filling the space, don't they? Maybe it's because they are such big lads, but it's quite intimidating and imposing watching from here, which is why you can't play through them, I don't think. You've got to play around them.
Yeah. I think the weakness for Olympic is behind their wing-backs. We need to see Jack O'Connor get into the game more. It's Jack's last game for Petone today. Another ex-Olympic player, and in fact in 2023 Petone beat Olympic 4-0 here with Jack scoring a hat-trick. So what we'd wish to have that day again today. It's surprising the number of Greek and Wellington Olympic and Petone connections when you research it. Some of them I was unaware of. But the two clubs seem to trade players on a regular basis. As Petone now have a throw-in on the far side. Referees come to have a conversation with the linesman about something. Petone will be hoping it's a penalty for whatever reason. Time back on. Throw into Petone. Drayton on the ball. Into McMinn. The muscular, strong McMinn. He's had a great season so far. Turns well. Charge down. A bit of pressure here as McMinn gets into the box. And Ollie Pickering with a chance. And Pickering with... Oh! Ollie Pickering with a half chance. Couldn't quite get the ball out from under his feet. But we'll put that down as Petone's first shot on target and Oscar Boyce's first save for Wellington Olympic.
Yeah, nice work from Kieran McMinn there to tee Ollie Pickering up, who just for a fraction he couldn't get the ball out from under his feet, but he did well to at least get a strike on target.
As Mata finds Prinz with a searching ball behind Nick Drayton, who had pushed forward. Prinz comes inside to Devonport Pedersen, lays it off to Hoy, who comes inside. No sign of that leg injury still. There's handball there from the charge down. Petone will get a relieving free kick at the top of the box.
Yeah, Shea Stapleton definitely the busier of the two keepers, but a little bit of wind working into that equation. But as I think I said earlier, I think Petone are going to have to live with less possession. Understandably, we're talking about the best team in Wellington, Olympic. Hamish Watson with a speculator there.
You could arguably say one of the top 3 teams in the country, Russell. Chatham Cup holders, Central League winners. Didn't do so well in the National League last year. Had a bit of a road bump there, but they've rebuilt and top of the Central League again this year, albeit in the middle of an injury crisis. Petone struggling to get it out of their third here. Of course, Olympic have always been known to play good football, and back in the 80s they had entertaining players like Doug Tedoria, one of the most skillful players we've ever played with, Russell.
Real character was Doug, and absolute brilliant skills.
Didn't quite fit into the team framework, did he? But man, that guy could do things with a football.
He definitely trod his own path. That's for sure. But
Prinz looking to try and find the space behind the Papa Preston, who handles the pressure from Hoy and Watson very well. Mandalawi very deep receiving that. Seems to have swapped positions with Drayton. Oh, and that's a bit of a soft free kick for my liking, but it's in Petone's favour, so we'll take it. As a Papa Preston now has some yards in front of him to exploit. Into the quiet so far, O'Connor, who nutmegs Watson, kind of. Petone don't look too panicked as a Papa Preston makes the overlapping run. Not found though. McMinn tries to flick through. Shearer. And again, the ball over the top. Watson, who looks slightly offside, and the linesman's flag predictably went up there.
yeah, Olympic very quick to close down. And when Petone get possession, especially around the midfield, Olympic very quick to close down and put pressure on. And you've just got to be so precise, and your touch has got to be good. And you've got to keep that ball moving because they are a physical side, and it's hard to live on the ball.
Well, they've got a triumphant in the middle of Autry, Manuel and Devonport Pedersen. Devonport Pedersen is tall and langly, so hard to get around. Autry and Manuel, very hard working, very industrious, and that's where they're getting that ball to turnover. And when they get the turnover, they look to play quite quickly. They're not playing 42 passes across the back line.
No, they're certainly not a one-dimensional side. Multi-dimensional, what do we call that? Skillful, quick, strong.
Always been known for skill, Wellington Olympic. Even again harping back to the 80s with players like Harry Kostapis and Elke Zaunu. And of course the tall, lanky Paul van der Breggen, rest in peace, was a very talented player. Watson on the top of the box now. Gets a shot away, but wide of Stapleton's right-hand post.
Talking about that Petone connection, I remember Ian Cave was, I think he went from Petone to Olympic, unless it was the other way around. But he certainly played for both clubs within a short space of time.
He did.
Yeah.
The mad Cavey, as opposed to more solid Neil, who incidentally won the Jack Batty Memorial Player of the Match accolade in the 1992 final, playing for Miramar Rangers. Great player, Neil Cave, and great guy.
Very, very good player. Very good player.
Olympics send the ball along with wind assistance all the way to the merged communications end. We'll have a moment. We'd just like to thank Des Smith Realty for sponsoring Petone and being the match day sponsor today. Without Des' support, we'd be a lot lesser of a club. So thank you, Des, and good luck selling 43 York Street in Moera. Petone now had a good series of possession with the ball, but Prinz wins the ball off Ollie Pickering. The St Pat's old boy striding forward. He's got an eye for goal. Lays off to Watson. Watson completely unmarked. Stapleton with a great save with his right foot. The linesman's flag stays down. That would have counted. So Shea Stapleton keeping Petone in the game there with a sensational right foot save.
Absolutely brilliant from Shea Stapleton there. I think he knew what he was doing too. He spread himself as big as he could.
Yeah.
And just caught the trailing foot. Good luck to him. He's done a good job there.
Yes, since coming back into the side, he's played very well, Shea. Of course, our thoughts are with King with his injury. And here comes the first yellow card for Wellington Olympic. Someone who's not a dirty player, Isaac Prince, but certainly a late challenge there on Nick Drayton.
Should we do that?
Yep.
Isaac Prince. Yellow card for Olympic, Isaac Prince.
Dad Ron the butcher on the sideline will be thinking he's butchered that one. Half an hour gone here at Petone Memorial Park. Still a bit of a tussle. Olympic ahead by 1-0. Hamish Watson header from inside the 6-yard box. The difference at the moment.
And he nearly doubled his tally there too. I mean, he did nothing wrong there. He kept it low. It was far post. We love a far post strike, don't we? And it was going in from our angle, 100%.
Absolutely.
And Shea Stapleton did a fantastic job.
Yeah. Shearer, nice touch of midfield, sends it long, but O'Connor's comes centrally, so the ball behind Vincent, although on, there's no one to receive. Boyce sends it long. The Brazilian Māori, Hami Paranahinuku, just brings it down like it's a piece of cake, and for a man of his ability, it often is. Drayton plays it up to Whitecliffe. He's got another chance to run. Prince comes back. He tracks well, Isaac Prince. He knows the danger of Bray Whitecliffe. Gets in and helps Suprick eliminate the danger. Olympic switch to this near side. The sign biz, Des Smith, substitute benches side. Hoy with the limited mobility strides forward and finds Watson. Watson plays into Prince on his favoured left foot, and he strikes it just wide of Stapleton's goal.
Yeah, there was a decent opportunity, wasn't it? They've worked that really well. Again, he's hit it far post, just didn't hit the target. But
I feel that
a little bit ominous.
I feel that both Watson with his 2 strikes that have been unsuccessful and Prince, they haven't quite caught the ball correctly. No. They've kind of half scuffed it as McMinn tries to bring it down with a shoulder touch, which is sensational if he can get away with it. But he's battling away, Kieran. He won't give up the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that it's a technical issue for these guys not to be hitting these solidly. Whether they're just snatching at them a little bit, don't know. But you're right.
Hoy plays into Watson, but Pickering Sam sees the danger, knocks it out for a throw. Yeah, I know Hamish well, and I think that the chance that he just had one-on-one with Stapleton, and he'd love to have had that again. He will feel that he should have just laced that. Had the whole goal to shoot at. He went far post, like you said, technically correct. That's a clever throw in from Vincent to find Hoy. Hoy at the far post drives it across, but no one there for the header. Prinz will put it back in, I'm sure. He does. Ollie Pickering calmly brings it out. Plays a little 1-2, but that's asking a lot of Whitecliffe. He's quick, but he's not that quick. Solomons dinks it forward. Paranahinuku beaten in the air, but Sam Pickering again doing a stellar job in that covering central defence position.
10 minutes till half time. I think it's key now for Petone to make sure that if they go in only 1 goal down, then they'll feel like they'll have weathered some sort of the storm, and they can reset, refresh, and they'll have the wind behind them in the second half. Not quite as big an advantage as it is in other codes, but still.
Yep. Well, it's there to tempt you to have some long strikes. I'm sure all of the Petone boys would love to put one past Oscar Boyce, as Pickering dithers a little bit there, and Hoy shuts him down. And again, Olympics transition quickly. Hoy tries to chip. Oh, a fantastic backtracking by the man in purple, Shea Stapleton. Fingertip tips over the crossbar. Cheeky attempt from Hoy.
He's done really well again there, hasn't he, Shay? He didn't panic. He knew he was half beaten, but he stuck with it and did what the only thing he could do, tip it over. And again, he's kept the scorebook, kept Olympic off the scoreboard.
Great goalkeeping. You've seen a number of times goalies know that the panic, they start flapping and they jump too early, and before they know it, they didn't need to, and it's floated over them. Shea did exceptionally well there. Took 3-4 steps backwards before he committed to a great fingertip save. Prinz on the corner this side though, in swinging with his left foot. Wind blown this way. Has anyone picked up Watson? They've put Ollie Pickering on, which is a bit of a mismatch. Prinz plays it near post. Upper Preston clears. Comes out to Autry. Solomons comes and cleans up the danger as Olympic will now set their shape back up. Mandalawi gets away from Prinz cleverly there.
Very nice move.
And Papa Preston comes inside and he gets fouled by Autry. Free kick at halfway here. Will Petone just play possession football here, or will they look to try and create something? Sam Pickering over it. A lot of experience, Sam Pickering. 2 balls on the pitch, one for Olympic, one for Petone.
The ball boy there showing some experience too, I think, just wanting to slow the game down a little bit.
The old Nottingham Forest ball boy.
Be a Diet Coke waiting for him after the game.
Sugar free, of course. Papa Preston in the channel, knocks it over the top. Boys, that'll just float to him right on the edge of the area. If that had just hung for a little bit, another second or so, and Ming was sniffing around. Captain Mata, haven't seen him much on the ball today so far. He's a stalwart in that Greek defence though. Oh, the experienced Solomons gets out of that danger there, but meets Mandalawi, who's got to be careful with that yellow card, Aaron. They play the ball down to Hoy, but Paranihi Nuhu will clear that up with a little bit of ease. Pickering plays, that's a bit of a risky one into Sam Pickering, but again, the Brazilian Maori showing Socrates' skill to jump away from Tor Pedersen. Yes, it was Devonport Pedersen. I'd like to see McMinn a bit further forward. He's getting the ball in the centre circle. I'd like to see him a bit higher up. Here's Watson with some space, with a volley chance, and he's blasted it high, wide, and onto number 2. In fact, it's such a good shot, it's gone into the goal on number 2. But Watson's had 3 chances, Russell, that he would probably want to take again.
Yeah, he certainly went for power on that one and just didn't quite get over it, did he? Certainly on target, but you've got to hit the target to score. So yeah, I agree. He'll be a bit disappointed. He could have had a hat trick,
and that's a worry because if he continues to get those chances, he will take another one. Don't shoot, don't score, but he's shooting.
Is he a 90-minute player these days?
Well, I think with the injury crisis, they'll be requiring him to play 90 today. On the bench today, they have Devon Thurston, Gianni Marino, Harrison Fair, who's a defender. So they don't see a lot of strike power. Josh Rudland has been another goal scorer for them, but he's not here today in the squad, so I'm presuming he's injured. He had a great game in the Hilton Petone final. Watson way offside there. Lazy tracking from the striker.
I do agree with you about Kieran McMinn. I'd like to see him be living in the back 4 of Olympic there, putting pressure on them, not only allowing them to press too high up the pitch.
I think with Petone, if they're going to play that midfield of Mandalawi, Shearer and Pickering, there is no reason for him to be that deep. We've got Shearer and Pickering who can play the ball in, but he's kind of coming into their zone as well. So then where's the forward ball?
Yep. And once he's back in that midfield, he's only ever going to play the ball back generally.
Yeah.
Whereas he could potentially try and unlock the wide men if he's a bit further forward.
Oh, Prinz is in here. And he's finished that as sweet as a baklava. Eyes of Prinz. A switch ball from Will Vincent has gone right over the top of Nick Drayton, and he's calmly flicked the ball over Shea Stapleton's head, who was left fully exposed.
Yeah, that was a very cool, calm finish, wasn't it? And the ball in behind with just riding on the wind a little bit, took it away from Drayton, and perfectly timed run, lovely finish. Pretty tough to argue with that one.
Prinz, just looking at him here, the substitute bench now, he's filled out not only as a player but in size as well. He looks a lot stronger than he was when he was playing under 17s for Stop Out and for St Pat's Silverstream First 11, and he's really developed as quite a sensational left-sided player. Here he is on the ball again.
Popping up on the right now.
Popping up on
Very
the right,
versatile.
yeah. And the scorecard's gone out 8.6, 7.8, 9.8 for the dive from Prinz there.
I was going to say he's developed his diving as well. That was very theatrical.
Yeah.
Clear foul, but
that's the kind of dive I'd see off the Silverstream Rail Bridge in the summer. Sam Pickering clears it up. Petone had been in this position before with Wellington Olympic. Like I said, the earlier Central League game, they were down by 3 at half-time and came back into the game as Mata shows all his strength and experience to eliminate the danger in centre midfield there.
He's deceptively quick, isn't he, Ben Mata? You look at him there and you think, jeepers, he doesn't move a lot, but he uses his experience and he reads the game very well. And when he needs to get there, he does.
Yeah, over 150 games for Wellington Olympic now. Ben Mata, this 15th Cup game today. He's been certainly a core to their success over recent years. Central League titles, Chatham Cup titles, National League representation. He's a very able player. Prinz sells McMinn down the sideline there with some beautiful skill. But runs into Sam Pickering, who's been the blocker all game really. Sam, like eliminating danger for fun. Vincent plays that big switch ball over the top again. Drayton hesitant, and Watson sniffed a chance of some description. Other Chatham Cup games around the region playing today. Wellington Marist and Cap Prem are taking on Central League 1 representatives Miramar Rangers. Stop Out, and there's all Central League 2 clash going head to head with seating as O'Connor breaks forward, and Solomons, the American, comes over and trumps out any danger there.
He's here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
Upper Hutt, they're at home today against Wests in an all Central League clash as well. They went down 1-0 to Wests in the Central League, so that'll be a close battle, although the TAB has Wests at $1.05 and Upper Hutt at $13, so something's aloof there. O'Connor, chance to run at Vincent, comes inside, plays it square to Shearer with a chance. Good to see Shearer prepared to have a pop there from the top of the D.
Yeah, he did well. It came at him quick. It came across his body. His first touch wasn't bad at all. It just sat up a little bit and he just couldn't keep it down, but still good intent.
Good intent, yep. North Wellington are at home to Island Bay in a team that both teams will be relieved to get out of Central League fight. There, winner takes all, and of course Palmerston North Marist and Central League 2 at home to Woolside Karori from Central League 1. We'll try to keep you posted with those scores as they come in during the day. Here at Petone Memorial Park as we approach half time, it's Des Smith, Realty, Petone 0, Wellington Olympic 2. Goals from Hamish Watson and Isaac Prinz. Referee's called a delay here, maybe a Papa Preston with a head knock. Or was it just a stinger of the ear?
Yeah, I think just precautionary from the referee.
Yeah. I couldn't quite hear what the referee was saying though, Russell.
You're not connected.
I could hear the collision from here, so there was definitely something in it.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
We start with a non-contested drop ball in front of the Ray White, Kimmy's Brothers, Des Smith Realty flag. Forward to Hoy. Hoy on the wrong road with Watson there, but
Paul Eiffel down there on the Olympic dugout, very animated. Doesn't look unhappy, it's fair to say, but...
I think he just wants a bit more quality. I think he feels they've left goals out there. As the big switch comes in from Prince, Stapleton receives and delivers quickly out to Drayton. Drayton's got 50 metres of space in front of him. He's a fast player, Drayton. He could attack that space and look for support. He has found it in Shearer. Shearer tries to do... Is that Suprick on the outside? Unsuccessfully. And the referee's given a contentious throw-in to the Petone boys.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of gamesmanship going on there from Suprick. I think he's got one eye on the clock, trying to wind it down a bit, not wanting to Petone to get any advantage from a quick break.
Whitecliffe's up against Suprick today, and Suprick's a very experienced campaigner as well, and he knows the dangers of Whitecliffe. He's right on his face every time Whitecliffe gets the ball. If the game continues like this, you might see Luke Stoop get a chance late in the game. Luke recovering from a serious injury at the back of last year. He's been scoring goals for the Petone reserves and came on against Miramar last week, and will probably get an opportunity to show his skills as Olympic play a huge switch here. Papa Preston's got his work cut out to get that, and Vincent has beaten him to it but run out of park.
Yeah, it'd be good to see Luke get a chance today, show us some of the magic that he's inherited from his dad, former Petone favourite, Donny Stoop.
Donny Stoop having a run today up at Upper Hutt for the Upper Hutt Road Show. First game of the season, I think, for Donny. He'll be feeling it tonight. Up and under, high. That's actually quite a dangerous ball as it floats around as a wind. And there's half-time here at Petone Memorial Park. Game probably going according to form at this stage with Olympic with their 2-goal lead. Russell?
Yeah, I think Petone will be pleased to get in the sheds and just have a reset. They're hanging in there. It ain't over. It's definitely not over. Olympic have averaged, 3 goals a game this season so far, so they're always going to score goals against you. You've got to find a way to limit that and to hit them back. There's been some good signs for Petone. They might look to switch it up a little bit positionally. But again, they've got to be patient in the first stanza of the second half and work their way back into the game. And 90 minutes, as we know, Petone's always in it. So looking forward to the second half.
And like we said, the very last meeting, they were 3-0 down at half-time and came back to lose 3-2. So hopefully we can see a repeat of that. We'll join you back again in 10 or 15 minutes when the sides resume. As we return here to Petone Memorial Park for this round 2 Chatham Cup clash between Des Smith Realty Petone and Wellington Olympic. Wellington Olympic currently leading 2-0 as we see Phil Barton arrive past the Des Smith Signbiz substitute benches.
Goodness me, he's looking athletic today, isn't he, Barts?
Hopefully he'll come up for a beer afterwards. As Petone get the second half underway, attacking our goal from left to right with the wind in their favour now. They've been behind to Wellington Olympic before, and actually by 3 in their Central League clash and came back to 3-2. So if they can get an early goal here early in the second half, that'll put some pressure on Olympic as Watson bustles his way forward to try and earn possession, and has done, and sends Hoy out wide. Floats the cross in towards the back post where Prinz is, who brings it down delightfully, tries to flick over Drayton unsuccessfully, and Bray Whitecliffe helps clear the danger.
I think he thought about an overhead there for a second, Prince, didn't he?
That or the flick over volley, Pele 1958 versus Sweden. Ben Martin now calming it down for Wellington Olympic as he plays out to Solomons, who drives the ball into the corner behind a Papa Preston, and that looks like a foul on the Papa Preston. The ref finally calls it. Vincent overzealous in his challenge there. What would you like to see from Petone at the start of the second half, Russell?
Well, I think they just need to settle into the half, just get back into the rhythm of how they play the game. Again, not panicking. They don't need to panic just yet. Plenty of time to panic later on. Just be solid. Obviously not concede, but just start to work down those flanks and look to get the ball in the danger area and get a strike on. Get some confidence.
If they get a goal, this whole complexion of this game will change.
100%. Yep.
Olympic will be a little bit nervous. They know that they've got some players from their reserve team filling in some spots today. They've got a few injury clouds already throughout the game, so as Watson flicks on to Prinz. Good flick on off the bonce of Watson. But Mata at the back, well, he'll know how to control the tempo of the match. And he will continue to push Olympic forward as Boyce clears long and high up towards Davenport Pedersen. Prinz can't keep it in. Oh, that's a loose pass. But the Brazilian Māori eliminates the danger, and he's looking to switch wide to O'Connor, but O'Connor looks a bit lacklustre, I feel, and I think if Jamie, the coach, was brave enough to substitute his son and put Luke Stoop on early and give him a good run at this half, we might see some dividends.
Yeah, I think he'd be looking to make a change sooner rather than later. Just trying to find a spark.
Yeah, I just feel there's no spark at Petone currently. I know it's a cup game. And here's an opportunity if they want to really chance their arm. The 45 yards out. If they had a Roberto Carlos kind of player, Russell, they could have a strike from here with the wind behind them. They've got nothing to lose. I don't see why they don't just chuck players forward in a situation like this and chance their arm. It's 3 minutes into the second half. They've got the wind behind them. They're 2-0 down. Try something. Just try something. Get it in the mixer.
Well, Harmy's part Brazilian, isn't he?
I'm not sure if the 45-yard free kick's in his repertoire, but as O'Connor chases that spinning ball into the corner, he's under pressure. He retains possession, though, and he's done well there to find Mandalawi. Mandalawi likes to go backwards as his first option, though. When you're 2-0 down, I'd prefer him to try and get the half turn on like McMinn has here.
He wouldn't look out of place in the Phoenix with that attitude, would he?
The third from bottom Phoenix as Hoy sends it wide to Prinz, who's clean through on goal again on his favoured left foot. But Drayton gets a great cover, and the Brazilian Māori gets out. And for some reason we have a relevance to Tottenham Hotspur, which I have no reference of whatsoever. Maybe it was Van der Veen's goal line clearance in the Europa Cup final we're talking about.
God, you win one trophy in what, 30 years?
Yeah, they come out the woodwork as Davenport Pedersen hits into the corner. He's got Paranahi Nuku for company. He plays central into Marino. Not the one from Auckland FC. He's gone. Vincent strives forward, plays it out to Hoy. So much for his car injury. He's been playing fantastic. Ball into the box. Sam Pickering with a powerful header clear. Prince very calm on the ball there under immense pressure from both Whitecliffe and Pickering. They come back out to the brawny captain Ben Mutter, who just does a sensible thing and opens up space on the far side. Oh, that's a lovely touch from Hoy into Vincent, who drives across to Watson, who flicks it off to Peterson, and Stapleton saves Petone again. They can't keep relying on Shea Stapleton to be their game changer, but he's kept them in the game again with a superb block stop.
He's having an absolute blinder, isn't he? Couldn't be faulted for the 2 goals, but he has saved at least 3 certain goals with tremendous goalkeeping.
Fantastic move from Wellington Olympic there. They really tore Petone open with Vincent overlapping on that right side. Sensational ball in along the 6-yard box. Dynamic little lay-off from Watson, who would normally want to strike and hit that himself, but take nothing away from Shea Stapleton, and that has kept Petone in this cup tie.
Proving to be a chip off the old block today, Shea.
Yeah, of course, Shea's father, Gary, was a first-team keeper here at Petone for a number of years. Highly competitive, Gary. Has to be, supports Everton. As Petone strike now down the left-hand side towards O'Connor. He's got a chance to keep this in, but he's shielded off the ball by Solomons, who's had a very solid game at centre-back. Been impressed with Alex Solomons today. Last time I saw him, he played in the pivot role. He played a bit deep today, but he's been very capable in that role next to Ben Mutter.
Yeah, Gary Stapes, another Petone legend who has carried on from his playing career into the admin side of the club.
Coaches junior sides too, Russell.
Yep, and normally a fixture on the balcony for games such as this, but he's
sidelined today, Gary.
Sidelined today. He'll be up later.
Oh, that's a great challenge from a Papa Preston. He had to time that perfectly because he was in the box, but he's done superb there.
Fantastic tackle.
Shout out again to our match day sponsor, Des Smith Realty. Continued support for the club, which we greatly appreciate, and our new sponsors for the club, Signbiz, signage design and print specialists. New shirts today with their logos on the back, and they look very sharp. Great signage from Signbiz. Solomons comes and reads that danger as they try to find McMinn. Prinz out wide here. He plays it into the space behind for Suprick. Suprick tries to get inside Whitecliffe. He does. He drives it into the 6-yard box, but Stapleton comes and gathers that with ease. One of the easiest clearances he's had to save today, Russell.
Yeah, good positioning again by Shea Stapleton, though. That was never getting past him, but Olympic are just starting to just find some holes in the Petone defence. Just moving that ball very quickly, getting him behind and getting sights on goal, and it's of some concern, shall we say.
I see no signs on either bench yet. I can understand why there's none on Olympics bench because they're in complete control currently. But as we approach 55 minutes, I would like to think that if Petone are really keen to stay in the Chatham Cup and get a cup run like life member Craig Deadman would like, then they need to do some changes. And the only attacking change that I can see is Luke Stoop somehow been involved. And for me, that would be O'Connor that would be the replacement. But coaches see things differently.
I'm not seeing any positional changes in the Petone lineup since half-time. Even trying something like O'Connor and Whitecliffe swapping sides.
I like that idea. I like the idea of a right footer on the right and a left footer on the left and just getting past your man and getting crosses in. But with that, though, we need McMinn to be further forward like we spoke about in the first half. And also we need the two midfielders of Shearer and Pickering to be further forward. Prinz knocks in the box. Oh, that's a strong challenge from Tor Pedersen on Paranahi Nuku, but he takes it well, the strong Brazilian Māori. Prinz again, he'll look to deliver. He's always wanting to deliver, and there he is. He fires it across. A Papa Preston with a strong clearance. Back in it comes again. A Papa Preston half clears it to Pickering. Ollie. And he calms it down. Looking for support. It's all a bit squishy there. Drayton has little chance here as Prinz gets inside. And he's got Watson unmarked at the far post. And that has probably killed the game as Hamish Watson gets a brace at the far post. But you have to give all the work, all the credit to the outstanding work of Isa Prinz, who won the ball off Drayton, hit the space behind, drilled it across the 6-yard box. Watson with probably the easiest goal of his career. Russell?
Yeah, I think it's just pressure, isn't it? Just the swarming sort of presence of the Olympic players there, putting Petone boys under pressure. The pass was far too short. The lad nipped in, got to the byline, squared it across, as you say. Hamish Watson, that's, it's a striker's dream, isn't it? A tap-in that you can't possibly miss.
No.
So, mountain to climb for Petone now. But they've got nothing to lose now.
Nothing to lose now. 3-0 down. They can come back from here.
Phil Barton feeling the cold out there.
One of the 1,267 people here watching today. And now Isa Prinz is really giving Nick Drayton a hard time. He's almost won the ball off him again there in midfield. I know Hamish Watson, now he's on 2, mate. He'll want 3. Strikers love hat-tricks. They like match balls. So, Petone to be put on notice even more so. Although it's 3-0, Olympic will keep coming here.
Yeah, definitely.
As Mandalawi tries to charge down at the top of the box. Gavin Hoy. And just as Kieran McMinn is through, we come back for a head clash. And the balcony erupt in disapproval of the referee stopping the match at that particular time.
Yeah, unfortunate. I think the ref slightly misread it originally, where he kind of let play go on, and it was just unfortunate. Petone had half a break on, and then he probably changed his mind a bit on the condition of the player and decided he would stop it because it's a head injury. Fair enough from that point of view.
Of course, health and safety is very prevalent in the community these days, mate, especially around head knocks. We hear a lot about concussion and dementia and ex-sports players, and now, of course, we've got Run It Straight in the media a lot. Of course, the poor guy in Palmerston North was a fatality of that crazy madness. Can't knock the referee for stopping it for a genuine head injury.
No.
Like you say, I think he might have misread the initial contact. But Petone are ruling that because they probably felt that was one of the few chances they've had to exploit some space.
They need everything to go their way, don't they? But, things like this, Run It Straight. Look, we've all done incredibly stupid things when we were younger, and some of us continue to do them into middle and old age. But, boy, that's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff and tragic consequences.
Yeah. And our thoughts are with the family of that young lad. As Petone pushed the ball forward to McMinn in the far post, he's got a chance with the header. He's just put it wide of Oscar Boyce's left-hand post. It'd been a follow-up on that far side. Could have been a chance for Petone to get back into the game. I wonder now, Russell, if Paul Eiffel and his coaching team might make some changes. They've got a bit of an injury crisis. Central League's obviously their main focus. At a 3-0 lead, they might not need to risk some of their more high-profile players.
Yeah, I don't. I think he'll be. Well, he probably won't be in 2 minds. He might be, but he won't be thinking the game's over by any stretch. But by the same token, why risk somebody out there picking up an injury or making an injury worse when you have got a 3-goal cushion on the scoreboard?
I'd love to see him make some changes. I'd love him to take Hamish Watson, Gavin Hoy and Isa Prinz off. As Petone strive to get back into this Chatham Cup round 2 clash.
We could get a message down and make a suggestion to him down on the bench.
I don't see any Petone subs warming up yet as we reach the hour mark, which is the new trendy time for managers to make their substitutions. So both O'Connor and Eiffel are probably happy with their stall at the moment.
I actually noticed the electronic scoreboard in the corner hasn't updated. So is it 2-0 or is it 3-0?
It is 3-0. Mandalawi looking to free McMinn. McMinn gets a chance here. He does a lovely little heel control, but couldn't quite get past the last defender as Prince tries to play it inside.
One thing I have noticed is Oscar Boyce wearing a baseball cap. Big fan. I'm a big fan when the sun is low in the sky.
Well, that will be his experience from playing the first team for Petone for the last 2 seasons. Remember we commented about the Napier keeper coming out in the second half with no cap. And coincidentally, Petone got back in the game from 3-1 down in that day. Not sure if the cap had anything to do with it, but it was an observation that we'd made.
Yeah, and I think with the wind behind, which is difficult, we've seen it prove difficult for keepers, and the sun in their eyes, you know, shooting from distance is very much a valid option for Petone, but they're just not territorial. They're just not even getting into the right areas to be able to do that.
And I wonder if Petone might come on for in the midfield. Liam Shearer and Ollie Pickering have done nothing wrong, but they just don't seem to be able to get that penetration that's required.
See dirt, guys. Oh, sorry, we've got to click on that. You guys could have done this, right?
1,306 people is the official toll for at the game today. It's a great effort from the Petone community to come out and support their local football club on the same day that Petone Rugby Club are having their 150th Jubilee. Congratulations to Petone Rugby Club, another strong community part. What's 10 years?
Jumping the gun there a bit, 140th by all accounts. And people coming from near and far. A couple of old Petone favourites, yep. Jonesy and Wardy coming down from Taranaki, and Jonesy coming over from Sydney for that. So they popped in here for a beer. And
always much appreciated.
Yep.
To get $20 out of Petone Rugby Club's a good effort. Petone Football Club, here we are now in our round 2 Chatham Cup clash. 3-0 down against Central League leaders Wellington Olympic, who looks still hungry for goals. Hamish Watson in particular will be looking to get that match ball as Stapleton clears it long and high with his left foot, and that's a great clearance for his non-strong foot. Bit of confusion there in that running from all parties involved as we get the ball wide, trying to find Whitecliffe and space on this far side. McMinn gets it under. He's hit a screamer against Island Bay from that distance, but he didn't quite get the opportunity to line that one up.
He's had no change out of the central defenders for Olympic today, hasn't he, McMinn?
No.
He tries hard, and he's a quality player, but...
advantage played there by the referee, but that could be a yellow card for Davenport Pedersen when play stops. And that was a strike from Drayton. I think that's 3 Petone strikes on target now. Yep. They just need something. It's something to just go their way. A bobble.
They've got to get a strike on target, and they've got to get guys running in and following up. The old Gerd Muller, the crumbler. That's what they need. You might run in 49 times and nothing happens. In the 50th, the keeper drops it. Easiest goal you'll ever score.
Oh, and here we have our first substitutions of the day from Wellington, from Petone rather. It looks like there's going to be changes all around, so just bear with us as we try to keep a handle on this. But he's coming on.
DeTom's coming on.
MJ DeTom's come on for Liam Shearer, and it looks like Seth Lothgren is coming on for Nick Drayton. Hang on. Yep. And for Olympic. Oh, I didn't get their numbers. Substitutions, Quick Tony.
Number 20, MJ Petone, comes on for number 10, Liam Shearer. Number 15, Seth Lothgren, comes on for number 3, Nick Drayton.
playing too well. Another head clash here. Kieran McMinn. No, it's not Kieran McMinn. Who's that? It's just gone down there. Is that a Papa Preston? Papa Preston on the ground needing some treatment from TBI Health. Great supporters of our first team and our club for any physical football injuries. TBI Health. They're the men to go to, and women, sorry.
Yeah, well done to the ref there. He saw that happen very quickly and stopped play straight away.
As we have another break in the traffic here, just a shout out to the New Zealand Masters team in Thailand, competing in the over 45s World Cup. 4 Petone players with a presence there. Jamie Duncan, ex-member of Team Wellington and Petone strong player. Carl Whalen, one member of the Whalen family who are very well associated with Petone Football Club, and Tina Whalen is a life member. Paul Whitmarsh, top record goal scorer, top record goal scorer for Petone. Paul Whitmarsh also coached the team from Capital Premier to Central League success. And of course, it wouldn't be the same without a Pickering being mentioned. Andy Pickering, younger brother of Daryl. 14th in the generational line of Pickerings at Petone. He's over there in Thailand. Good luck to all you guys. Go well. Petone, go the Blues.
I think breaking news. I think they won. I think they won the final last night. 1-0.
Nice. If that is the breaking news, then that's exceptional. Underway here again at Petone Memorial Park. Just over an hour gone. Change has been made by both sides now as Petone try to get back in this game. 3-0 down currently. 2 goals from Hamish Watson, the burly, strong Hamish Watson, and one from the incredibly skillful Isaac Prinz, who also created 2 of the goals, as Mandalawi tries to find McMinn on the long switch, but that'll bounce harmlessly down to Oscar Boyce.
You surprised we haven't seen Luke Stoop yet? Oh.
Yeah, it will be a disappointment if Luke Stoop doesn't get a run at some stage in this game. He's exceptionally fast player, Luke Stoop. He's got a real eye for goal. He's proven that at reserve team level and under 19 level. It's only a matter of time before he becomes an established first team player. Probably would have happened earlier if he hadn't got injured at the end of last year. Olympic on the charge now. Vincent plays in behind. Paranahi Nuku clears with a back heel. Try to fire it across again, but blocked out by Captain Mandalawi, who's played very well since his booking to choose when and where to tackle with his ferociousness.
Yes, both him and Pickering have done a good job of keeping their noses clean since then. All it takes is one mistimed challenge in the wrong part of the field, and they might be seeing yellow for the second time.
Yeah. Ben Marta very well played there. Obviously McMinn had more pace than him, but he just used his body frame to shield that ball and play a safe back pass back to Oscar Boyce. Olympic have squeezed in behind again. Pickering, Sam does enough a second time round to avert the danger as De Tom looking for support central midfield, and it's Pickering from centre back that's had to come forward to receive that. Lothgren needs to get some space on this side. He's a bit scramped up there as Whitecliffe meets Suprick again for the 16th time today. De Tom looking to switch sides, plays it into Lothgren. He's got limited support, but he's got more support coming central. Whitecliffe earns a free kick.
He's done well there. There wasn't much happening.
No. I watch football with my granddaughter and I say things like, get in the box, and she yells out, get in the box, you bum bums. So that's what we're yelling out today for Petone. Get in the box, you bum bums. Let's get a goal here. Sam Pickering on the ball. He'll be looking deep. McMinn, Paranahi Nuku. They just need a second phase bobble to go their way, Russell, and a loose ball to snap away.
Yep. 20 minutes to go. Something's got to happen soon.
Plays it deep to the far post. Goes harmlessly out the far side. No, O'Connor keeps it in. And it's Marino. Gian Pasquale Marino. And Watson fancies his chances against Lothran for pace. But Lothran's cleaned it up. But Pickering wasn't expecting that, but he's handled that very well, Sam Pickering. All the experience
shows,
there.
yeah, definitely. That's quite sloppy there from Petone, giving the ball away in a very dangerous area.
And Watson's won it ball strongly, but well played by Hami Pirinehi Nuku.
Very well played, Hami.
Sam Pickering looking for support. They're very snappy in that midfield, though, aren't they, Russell? The three in the central midfield of Olympic work very hard to win that ball back, and then they transition so quickly.
Yeah, they're putting lots and lots of pressure on the Petone boys, and you'd have to say that it's, you know, they've wilted a bit, Petone, unfortunately. It's just that extra level that these Olympic guys seem to have. Petone boys are lacking a little bit of experience. It'll be a good learning curve for them, I think, today.
If this is Wellington Olympic with an injury crisis, you'd hate to see them at full strength as Stapleton comes and just can do nothing but clear that into the Des White Realty Sign Biz substitute benches as Tor Pedersen. As Prince attacks again. Oh, and the referee's called that offside, but that was from a throw-in. The assistant referee's got that 100% wrong, and we're not allowed to criticise officials, but he has got that wrong. Tor Pedersen was offside position, but it was a throw-in.
Yes, I think the assistant referee might want to have that one back again, but probably not going to change the flow of the game, shall we say.
He's only human. Mandalawi looking for O'Connor. O'Connor's not wide enough for me. He needs to get more space out there. As De Tom finds Whitecliffe with a chance to run at Suprick. He'll come inside this time. He does. He's looking to cross. He's looking to shoot. De Tom tries to play the 1-2. They know Whitecliffe's danger, and Devonport Pedersen strongly shoves Whitecliffe away. Keeps working into that corner though, as De Tom tries to play the reverse pass to Ollie Pickering. And now Watson all alone. He'll take this into the corner and wait for support. Seth Lothran will know he's in a battle here.
Watson just looks a little bit tired there. That was a tired touch, but Lochran did really well to stay with him and come away with possession.
And we have a free kick there for Petone. And it looks like the substitute Marino that has gone on the referee's book there.
Might have just about been his first touch, was it?
He did kick one out for a throw earlier.
His first meaningful touch.
As O'Connor over the ball. Petone need to get something soon. 73 minutes gone. O'Connor will be looking for this far post. Got to be allowing for the wind. Pickering Sam's gone deep to the far post. It looks like Sam's headed for it. It's gone out at the Merge Communications end. Games around the area. Stop out have put Seatoon to the sword. 6-0. And they're all Central League 2 clash in the Chatham Cup. Miramar Rangers, no surprise there. They've smashed Wellington Marist out of the Chatham Cup with an 8-0 victory. Big result of the day though. TAB's got this one wrong. North Wellington 0, Island Bay 7. So North Wellington were paying $2.05, Island Bay $2.40. Looks like Island Bay have got the victors there. Another substitution here for Petone. For Wellington Olympic rather. Isaac Prinz has been replaced by number 19 Devon Thurston.
He'll sleep well tonight, Prince. He's had a fantastic day out and worked really hard. Been a big part of the success for Olympics so far today.
Yeah, but like we said earlier, he provided 2 assists and scored himself, so he'd be up there with the Player of the Match awards. as a Papa Preston tries to win something for Petone, and he doesn't. They get a goal kick, which is frustratingly disappointed for the boys in blue.
A corner from this distance, but
Yeah. So some big scores in those games we've just said. Miramar 8+, Wellington Maris 6 stop out against C2 0. Island Bay 7, North Wellington 0. But it doesn't match the highest score ever of 21 0, which was Metro against North West United in 1998. And ironically, North West United were on the back of a 21 0 shellacking from Central, but 7 years later. So next year I'd like Petone to play North West United in the first round of the Cup. Mata strongly headers the ball away from the danger zone.
you'd think there was some sort of mercy rule, wouldn't you?
You would hope so.
21-0.
Marino drives in the box. It comes deep to the substitute. Oh, and it's blocked by Lothran, which is a fantastic effort. It's knocked him off his feet even. That shot had some ballistic power. The crowd are wanting to see Luke Stoop out here. Oh, McMinn's got a chance here. Boyce is going to have to handle this outside his area. It's a little lob chance. Wycliffe's got some space, but Ben Mata, the burly, experienced, strong Ben Mata, against the diminutive Bray Wycliffe. There was only ever going to be one winner unless Bray managed to skunk him with a piece of skill that he does have.
It's the biggest mismatch on the park, though, isn't it? Those two.
Long by Stapleton, but that's going to go all the way to keeper. It's a training drill from past Petone days.
He's got a bit of swagger about him, Oscar Boyce, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was a good player for Petone. Went to Olympic only because he wanted to get opportunity at National League level.
Yeah,
He was prepared to understudy to Scott Basilay, which is some person to displace.
Got to admire the ambition, 100%.
Oh, Tor Pedersen knocks it over to Marino. Marino looking for support in the box. Watson's arriving. He'll want the hat trick. He'll have said that he's picked the wrong option there, but they fire it in again. And Pickering with the cheese grater header gets it clear. Petone with a nice little steal there in the midfield, but can they transition this into something forward? O'Connor's too deep again. He needs to get forward. They play the ball to McMinn, but they're not on the same roadmap, that one. Jack O'Connor's last game for Petone today as he goes on his overseas experience.
We wish him well. Safe and happy travels, Jack.
Yeah. We've lost 3 now. That'll be 3 to overseas travels, Petone. As Wycliffe plays it wide to DeTom. He's got some space. He needs McMinn to make a run and deep into the far post. He hasn't done it. DeTom's come central. Tries to play a square ball, which wasn't on. And Olympics snuffed that out with their triumphant of midfielders. Well, Russell, I don't think we're going to see a 4-4 classic like we did back in 1984.
No. No, look, we've got 12 minutes on the clock. I think, never say never. If Petone could somehow sneak one, the momentum of the game can change. You're never out of it. You're absolutely never out of it. It's not easy, though. I think.
Hamish Watson gets his customary yellow card that he picks up every week at Petone Memorial Park when he plays. Unfortunately, he gets a goal as well. And here's the change that Petone faithful have been wanting for the last 15 minutes. Luke Stoop comes on to replace the Papa Preston. There'll be a formation change here because Luke Stoop is not a left back. He's an attacking forward.
Well, you called it all. Let's see if Luke can get him behind and cause some carnage like his dad used to.
Sensational substitution for Petone. Number 13, Luke Stoop, replacing number 14, Joshua Papa Preston. It's going to be all fireworks now, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to get this ball deep into the areas. We've got to be prepared to chance our arm. We play it wide to Ollie Pickering. Luke Stoop comes to get his first touch. He turns inside. He gets fouled.
He's done his job there. Free kick in a dangerous position.
Calculated foul, because if he'd have got that space, he would have had a crack there in Luke Stoop. He's very confident. He can strike a ball from outside the box. He's all about goals. But here's a fantastic opportunity for Petone to really get something with 10, 12 minutes to go. O'Connor on the ball. They've got to get this into the mixer, Russell. They've got to get it into the danger zone.
Absolutely.
It's got to beat the wall. It's got to get over the wall.
Yep. Anything can happen once it's in there.
He's hit it. Oh, it's a save from Boyce. It falls to Stoop. Fantastic little play there. I thought it was a bit scrambled, but it was forced a great save from Oscar Boyce, and then a double save again as Luke Stoop was sniffing on the rebound.
Yeah, that's the first bit of serious work Boyce has had to do today, and he handled it very well, actually. Pushed it wide, didn't push it back into the oncoming feet of a striker. But yeah, best chance Petone's had all day.
Yeah, I feel it. Wycliffe on the corner now, in swinging with the wind. Plays it near post. Watson. It's going to take a good corner to get past Hamish Watson in the near post, and he thumps it out to the Shandon golf course. Mandalawi with the throw now. Plays it short to Pickering. He's held. Watson, he'll now thump this again. There's a wrestle there. There's a UFC grapple. There's an armbar. The linesman, who's 3 yards away, saw absolutely nothing. We do question some of the visionary abilities of assistant referees at times, but that one had a little bit, a few question marks around it. Relieves the pressure for Olympic though, and they'll be relieved of that.
There wouldn't be too many more competitive footballers around than Hamish Watson, would there? Would you like to play Monopoly against him? How would that go?
I could see the board going up in the air. They try to find Watson. Lothgren's up against him. Hamish Watson's becoming the villain now.
And he's loving every minute of it, I would suggest.
He's doing the Jamie Vardy. Bit of shithousery coming in there from the ex-Lower Hutt player. Anyway, Petone on the hunt. Stoop goes past his man. He stopped. Pickering looks to do the sharp turn inside the box. That's snuffed out well. And Solomons, who's been one of the Olympics' best players, eliminates the danger again. Bit of pressure here though from Petone, Russell.
Yep. Yeah, they've got a bit of a way on. So again, we just need to.
Stoop behind. Oh, if only he had an Inspector Gadget leg, he could have extended that and just flicked it over Boyce. But it's looked dangerous since he's been on, Russell.
He has. And some are saying that he probably should have come on a bit earlier, actually. But he's on now. He's got 7 minutes to make a name for himself. A quick hat-trick would do us nicely.
Yeah, if he could come up with the Mario Sane hat-trick. Oh, Sadio Mane, sorry. That's McMinn now. One-on-one with Mata. He's looking for support. It's all taking a bit too long for him to get here, but McMinn's had a go. 3 chances in the last 5 minutes now from Petone. They've kind of up their offensive game to some touch.
Yeah, the clock's against them, unfortunately, but it's good to see. I mean, look, they have not given up all day. They have scrapped, they have fought. It's been a battle, but, they're probably, it's probably like a light heavyweight fighting against a heavyweight, to be fair. And they have not disgraced themselves at all.
As Wellington Olympic make one of their last changes, looks like Davis has come on for Autry. Autry had a very industrious game in the midfield there. Certainly snuffed out any opportunity that Petone were trying to create. Placement for Olympic. Davis replaces Autry. Joel Autry, number 18. As the sun starts to dip over the Western Hills here, there's a bit of gloom over Petone Memorial Park as it appears that Petone are heading out of the Chatham Cup at the first hurdle this year for the holders, Wellington Olympic. But anything can happen in football with 6 minutes of normal time to go. plus stoppages. We now have Luke Stoop. He's going to be our saviour. For all you Catholics out there, start praying.
What about the Protos and the Angos?
They are disbelievers. As Petone, come forward now. Suprick. It's been solid at left back now. O'Connor's chasing him. He has swapped sides, Russell. A call that you made earlier. And Tor, Peterson, Davenport. Marino plays inside. Vincent can't cover. Ollie Pickering. Doesn't have a lot of support in front of him though, does he, Russell? You know, he looks up, he sees a wall of white.
Yeah, and it's pretty much been the story of the day. Although they've just, I think I've used the word swarm before. That's not a very technical football term, but it's the way it appears with this Olympic side. They just appear to be everywhere, and look, that's the reason that they're clear at the top of the Central League, and will be very competitive in the National League later in the year.
Yeah,
they're a very good side, even not at full strength.
Yeah. I mean, they remind me very much of Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, and that was heavy metal football, you know. Win the ball solidly in midfield, strike forward quickly in transition, do stuff, and they're into it. As Stoop gets a chance, he's keen away. He's looking for support now. McMinn needs to hit the box. There's no point hovering on the edge here. Stoop needs support. He plays it to the top to Petone. He doesn't quite make it. O'Connor flies in the far post cross, but sails over Boyce's crossbar. Again, Stoop. He's made an impression since he's been on.
He really has. He's injected some energy. He's got some wheels to get him behind. He just needs some service and some opportunities. Bit of a Hail Mary at the end there for O'Connor, I think. But again, you can never criticise anyone for shooting a goal.
No. I just wish they'd started shooting in the 10th minute, Russell, not the 74th minute. As Boyce sends it long down the pitch again. Tom, he's had a solid appearance since he's come on as well. As Mandalawi's going to get swarmed. And O'Connor's now central. There's actually no width on the left for Petone now. It's very, very narrow from the width of the penalty area. But Ollie Pickering has found a little bit of space out there.
What's he even doing there?
He loves it out there, Ollie Pickering.
He plays into
O'Connor's made some space here. He plays it square. Is there a chance for a Sam Pickering strike? He's shut out. Guess who? Alex Solomons and Marino. And now Watson. He knows what to do here. He'll be very professional about this. He'll take this into the corner. He'll hold on. He plays a little ball inside. And they try to switch it to the far side behind Mandalawi. That's going to hang up with the wind. Marino. As we clock onto the 88th minute of normal time. Petone are very much the second nature here. For all the preparation that Petone did, they trained well during the week. They felt confident. Olympic have done everything professionally right to smother that midfield, block out the danger of Whitecliffe and O'Connor on the wings. McMinn's been a lone figure, centrally have to drop deep to receive the ball, whereas Olympic have had a bit of freedom on the flanks, and they've got, of course, a burly striker in Watson, who is forever a pest.
Yeah, I think it's testament clearly to the Olympic organisation and the setup and the planning they do, and with so many injuries for squad members to come in and fill those gaps, and it's just normal service. It's been continued. It's testament to well coached, well thought out. But they just haven't been able to find a way through, unfortunately.
No.
But full marks for their effort and their persistence and.
The old boys at Wakefield Park will be celebrating this victory. Probably not over-celebrating. They would have expected to have won this, I think. But our ex-opponents, Basil Matrakis, Chris Iavasis, Harry Kostapis, they will be enjoying their drink at the end of today's play. Pickering tries to find McMinn again into that channel. It's cut out again by Solomons. O'Connor blocks out the clearance, maybe one of his last contributions to the Petone cause for the 2025 season.
I haven't seen as much football in recent times as you have, or the teams. How far ahead of the rest do you think Olympic are in the Central League? What is the gap between the first and the top 2 or 3?
Well, if you look at points, I think it's 7 points, and that's the Phoenix reserves.
Yeah.
So, who train 5 nights a week? You know, the Phoenix. Wellington Olympic only train 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
They train 3 pre-season. I was talking to Hamish before the game. They only train 2 nights once the season starts. They might go to 3 in National League. But as far as the golf goes, they are quality. They are quality. They can adapt. They have, additional game plans. They have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. They have personnel that can play a number of positions. Example, Solomon's playing in the centre back role today with the missing Justin Gully. Yeah,
there's an element of total football about it, isn't there?
There is an element of total football about it. They don't rotate positions a lot in the actual game, but they rotate in their system.
And where to here for Petone, do you think?
Well, they are all about Central League, and to be honest, they probably have been all season. They probably wouldn't have enjoyed the draw of a Wellington Olympic in the Cup. But they're in a bit of a mid-season rebuilding now. Like I said, they've lost 3 people overseas now. Jago Scott Greenfield, Matt Brazier, of course, was goals as DeToms comes forward. Bets past Mata, who just delays him enough to hold him up as DeToms looking for support. Lothwin, can he ping across? And he does. The far post, and McMinn's unmarked! And he needed to put that away just to have a bit of justification in the game. That's probably the best chance, Russell.
I think that definitely the best chance there, Roll. Super ball in from DeToms, was it? And Kieran McMinn got on the end of it. The ball's curling.
Back the way it came from, do you think?
Well, you always like to see that. Back towards
the open spaces,
the
isn't
near
it?
post. Yep, you get a bit more of a square sort of header on it rather than a glance. Look, he'll be disappointed, of course, but
it's the only chance he's had, McMinn.
Pretty much.
He scored 9 goals this year.
Yep.
That's the only chance he had to get 10.
And of course,
Olympic very professional, mate.
Yeah.
They're not the best team in Wellington by chance. They're there by quality.
good recruitment program.
As Watson makes one last dash down the left-hand side. Sam Pickering for company. Suprix going outside him, but he plays inside towards Davis as it carries it wide out to Marino. Marino goes on the outside past Pickering. Pickering will need to be on his toes here. Gianni Pascala Marino can't get the better of Ollie Pickering. There won't be a lot of time for stoppages, maybe a couple of head knocks, maybe a couple of minutes, but it appears that Petone's Chatham Cup run to repeat their 1949 success will have to start in 2026.
There's always next year. And they might hope for a slightly softer draw. Just a quick shout out to my dear mum Dorothy over at Bob Scott, who hopefully is tuning in on YouTube. Hope you've been enjoying the game.
Oh, an Olympic have missed a sitter there in the last minute. Well played by Watson. Surprised he didn't go for the hat trick, but team player tried to play in. I think it was Davis or Marino.
It was Marino, I think. Yep.
Solomon again wins that goal kick. And they strive forward. I can see a fourth coming here. If Petone don't keep their guile about them. 4-0 is paying $15 at the TAB. There'll be some people on that. Was I research?
3-0 paying $13.
Yeah.
That was the play.
Be some happy Greek punters out there today, I'm sure. Stoop tries to play the reverse ball into McMinn. He has found them. McMinn. Nice little jink past. And And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Petone exit the Chatham Cup at this early stage. Wellington Olympic, worthy winners of 3-0.
Folks, Chatham Memorial Park in the Petone Cup run for 2025. But congratulations, Wellington Olympic champions last year and the well-deserved winners today. We've got clear for an next home game in a few weeks, folks, so be sure to look out in your diaries and come along to a great day. Thanks everyone for coming today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Right, that's the one you didn't want to say, eh? I'll see you next time. Yeah, Wellington Olympic worthy winners today, Russell. Did everything professionally correct, got the lead, and really Petone didn't have enough to muster, till late in the game. They had a couple of half chances, but we'd have to say Wellington Olympic fully deserved winners.
Yeah, you're hard to argue with that. Olympic, very deserving winners, very professional performance, got their noses in front and controlled the game from there. Petone's best spell, probably that last sort of 15 minutes where they did have a couple of really good chances. So they can take some heart from that, and as you say, look ahead to the Central League and try and turn some of those draws they've been having into wins and climb up the table and give that top four a scare.
Great having you again today, Russell. It's always a pleasure to have you on the mic. Go well, mate, and till next time.
Cheers, all. My pleasure, absolutely 100%. And thanks for watching, everybody out there, and wherever you're watching from, all the best. And come on, you Blues, next time. Cheers.